Trump to be on the program, and that the president's claim that he turned down the appearance request is a total lie and so meaningless. So everybody else, according to this, has said that Trump's lying about all these things, those other things. Okay, wait a second. They don't want Trump on the program, but they go down to Mar-a-Lago. Okay, and then on the caller IDs, they find these phone numbers for the producers asking to be on the program. I mean, the White House has surfaced that information on there with caller IDs and tweets. Who's lying here? For people that don't want to look at the tweets or don't want to look at the information, but it's again, it's fun for them. It keeps them. They think that they're relevant. They think that they're cool, and as long as that they're able to sit there and bash. I can't even watch the late night program with, the new Tonight Show. I was going to say Jimmy Kimmel, but Jimmy Fallon, I don't like him because they spend, 8 to 10 minutes on the monologue just talking about Trump. I mean, it just doesn't get funny anymore. And though I'm a Trump supporter, I love good humor. I like satirists, but that's not it. It's just, it's ugly. It's ugly and antagonistic, and it's venomous. I mean, these people are like vampires, out for blood anytime that they can get the opportunity to do it and use the platform. Instead of just entertaining the public, giving them a good show, they have to sit there and make it all about politics and make fun of Donald Trump. And basically what it does is it makes the country look stupid because people watch those programs all over the world. It just puts us in a really bad light and makes it look like a circus show when they're the ones actually putting us in it. Thank you very much. They don't, if they actually thought what they did, but they don't think about it. They don't think, they're not visionaries. They just think short term. And, it's going to resonate with some of our snowflakes, a lot of our snowflakes that watch it, and a lot of them do. And that's what they do. They dial up, they push those buttons, and they believe like we believe. Forget about the people that alienate all the people that voted for Donald Trump. You don't think that bothers them, and that's not enough people that brought him over the top? You don't want their viewership? You don't want them watching your network, supporting your advertisers? Okay. Well, thank you very much. We'll just boycott it. I'm not going to ask for tickets. I'm not going to ask for friends and family. I'm not going to watch the network. Stop watching it. I don't watch it for anything. I stopped watching it. Their shows, their entertainment, I could care less about it. I hope somebody else, when the Olympics comes, it's not carried by NBC. I hope somebody else gets it. Bad taste in my stomach altogether for that network, just like CNN. I mean, it curdles my stomach because you know that these people are not objective and they're not fair. And between those two, that's a bigger turnoff for me than you know. All right, Iran in the news here. State television reporting that an Iranian cancer researcher who was denied entry to the United States has returned to Tehran. Why? Well, these images aired on the state television today showing Moshe Dalovan's return, and it was confirmed that he was the same man who previously headed a student branch, a volunteer primary militia. Who is this guy? Well, he was part of a paramilitary militia in an earlier report in the semi-official Fars news agency, semi-official, said that he was appointed the head of the student Bashar force of Iran's Sharif University in 2007, and Bashar is a volunteer militia that is linked to the Iran's Revolutionary Guard. He later served on the unsuccessful 2013 presidential campaign of the prominent hardliner former nuclear negotiator Saeed Jalal. So it didn't happen. So yes, researcher was denied U.S. entry. So back to your country, my friend. Yes, if you're part of all of that, we don't want you here. If that was Obama, he'd still be here. And he'd probably be teaching at some South Florida university. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, they don't think anything of it. See, it's just a nice way of showing that people are actually checking and Homeland Security on the job, and there's some accountability going on here in government on all levels, which is a beautiful thing. More to come. Thank you very, very much. This is not good if you're a Verizon Wireless customer. A huge data leak was reported by Verizon Wireless. Huge. And Verizon Wireless informed the breach was discovered by a researcher from software security firm from UpGuard in late June. Did you hear about it? Nope. Millions of customers, your records, by this breach. Verizon, the Fox Business Network, Therese Carrasco reported the names, addresses, phone numbers, and some cases the security pins of Verizon customers publicly exposed online by one of the company's vendors. Vendor Nice Systems, based in Israel. Verizon's Wireless was informed of the breach, and they're trying to rectify it. According to reports from ZDNet.com, an employee of Nice Systems put information into a storage cloud area and incorrectly set the storage to allow external access. That's how it happened. According to the report, as many as 14 million customers were found on the unsecured storage controlled by Nice Systems. Now Verizon says that number is closer to 6 million customers. So Verizon officially, they're issuing a statement saying there has been no loss or theft of Verizon or Verizon customer information. Change your PIN. Change your information as much as you possibly can. Anytime that a company just says that nobody's been affected, but yet it was reported that there was a lapse in security, it was made public because they don't want to upset 14 million people. Now they're downplaying it, saying, oh, there's only a small margin of people being affected by this. It's not a big deal. Yeah. See how vulnerable we are from human error? That's why computers are not perfect, because people are not perfect. Case in point here. So some contractor in Israel responsible for it. So again, if you're a Verizon customer, change your PIN number. Okay, folks, you've heard it here, first here. This data leak at Verizon Wireless exposed millions of customers' records. But there was an outside vendor for the breach in Israel. ZDNet, you can read about it there, about Nice Systems, and it was all in the cloud-based area, and they incorrectly put into a storage area, and they didn't click on the security protocols to allow people to be able to get in. And speaking about protocols, you got to be careful, too, with your computer, how you set it up. If you're at an office building or nearby, there's people that have computers, next to you where you live. And you can have people sharing files, sharing downloads and stuff like that. You got to make sure that you got a firewall protection on your computer. People sometimes can see what you see, have access to what you see. You don't even know they're getting in your computer. You got to make sure that you properly have security protocols set on your computer. If you don't have those things set up on your computer, bring it into to the Geek Squad. I'm not making any money off this, but you can ask them. You can go into some of the office supply stores where they have computer setup places where you can ask them so somebody can't get into your computer. And you can see if somebody is trying to breach into your firewall, because all your credit card information on there, we pay our bills online. You do too. Most of you do. And if you do, you're subject to somebody being able to find that information, get your personal information like your social security number and valuable information or personal information, business information. I know a lot of people that trade from home, and you don't want that information coming out of what you're worth, what you're not worth, whatever, personal, business information, health information, photos, videos, whatever. Make sure that you're protected, folks, because, people have way too much time on their hands, and you don't want to get in your computer. It's supposed to be a personal computer, remember? PC? Yeah. JetBlue, it's kind of like a discount airline. I have flown them into Puerto Rico and different places where I've gotten some really good deals. I've had some pretty good experiences, but not this grandmother with Alzheimer's disease. She was flying JetBlue, and understand that she was stranded at Logan Airport, not a place that you want to. You don't want to be stranded, and it wasn't because of the weather. Her family, this lady with Alzheimer's, was telling Boston 25 News that the wheelchair assistance program sadly never made sure that she got on her flight to Florida and was left sitting at the gate for hours. Carm Koshner's family said that it wasn't even made aware of the situation until going to the airport in Florida to pick her up. He said that the airline promised to help her get into the airplane, but that never happened. Denise Chase, Koshner's daughter, said her mother was in Massachusetts visiting her grandchildren but couldn't navigate the airport on her own. Koshner used JetBlue's wheelchair assistant program, but when her flight changed gates somehow, she was left behind. But they said, don't worry. When you have a wheelchair assistance, they stay with them, and they get them to the gate at the right time. But folks, that never happened, Chase said, and they must have just left her at the gate. So JetBlue booked Koshner into a hotel for a night and then booked her onto a flight the next day. But Chase said that the flight had 3 connections, which only leaves more room for mistakes. She said her mother was also separated from her luggage overnight, meaning she didn't have access to her medication that she takes 3 times a day. And JetBlue? Well, they say that they regret the incident and they're revising the regulations and also reviewing what led up to this. Yeah, you got to be so darn careful, especially with elderly and children, with these assisted programs. The best way, I know people that, they have a child that might be in New York City and one lives in Florida, and they put their child on, or, from one destination to the other, hoping that they'll get to their destination and there'll be somebody there. But in this case, I just went awry here, and anything can just happen. But somebody with Alzheimer's, put her in a hotel, no medication, didn't even alert till the next day. I mean, this is just poor. Yeah, I would not be surprised if there was, just if something happened to the dear lady. But geez, luckily they were able to reunite her with her mother and her family. But you're doing the wheelchair assistance program, man, you got to have somebody's cell phone number and be calling and checking on them 24 hours a day just to make sure they're doing their jobs. So you got to play supervisor. You got to be like the middleman. Yeah, I personally, I don't think I'd have to fly. I couldn't. Even my 14-year-old daughter, I mean, that should be old enough, people say, but if I was doing that, I'd be flying with her. Not in this day and age. I wouldn't be taking any chances. And it's a discount airline. Somebody was definitely looking for a cheap flight for mom to get back with the family, but it don't matter, discount or not. They could have done a much better job. How scary, how frantic that would be. By the way, for some of you that may not know, I originate this broadcast from Tampa, Florida. And in Florida, we got a lot of alligators. And they've been on massive growth spurt here in Florida. Alligator attacks in southwest Florida. And the weather, we understand, is partially to blame for it. But on July 9th, a 71-year-old woman was airlifted to a hospital after she was attacked by a 10-foot alligator in the Shadow Wood Preserve gated community of Fort Myers. And this attack came just days after another gator nearly bit off the arm of a golf ball diver in the Charlotte golf community. And last week, an alligator reportedly bit a 10-year-old boy vacationing in Arcadia. And so these gators, man, are huge. A number of factors they say are contributing to the spikes. Alligators are more active when temperatures rise, explains the spokesperson for the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission in an email sent to us here. The fact that that combined with this being a popular time of year for people to recreate near the water,